Welcome to Wednesday's Market SITREP here at Top Gun Options TGO. My name is Matthew Buckley. My call sign is Wiz, and we're seeing this kind of rip your face off rally here. Markets usually over sell and then overbuy, and this looks like an over buy today. Hopefully, we're going to find a little bit of a base somewhere in between. On the S&P 26.25 and 27.25. I think we're going to be trading sideways here through the elections. Don't forget, tomorrow, November 1st, we got Iranian sanctions kicking back in. But, with quote-unquote friends like the EU, who needs enemies like China and not necessarily super enemy, but India. Obviously, all these countries are going to, stick their middle finger up at Donald Trump and still try and get oil from Iran, but it's still going to be volatile. We got Saudi Arabia. The Turks are still leaking out details of that guy's grisly death. That Saudi Arabia is still playing I got a secret, but we need Saudi Arabia. We have sanctions kicking back in on Iran, and Saudi Arabia has promised to be our wingman and open up the spigots and keep us good to go. So a lot of politics going on, geopolitics going on, starting tomorrow, or kicking back in tomorrow, as I should say. China vowing more stimulus. Their economy is really slowing down. A couple weeks ago, we saw the GDP implode, and we know if the government's reporting that it's imploding, it's actually worse than it actually is, because China ain't one to be telling the truth about their economic health. Not that the United States has all the time, but I digress. The other day, FXI got a little bit of a bounce. The iShares ETF that we trade, FXI got a little bit of a bounce on the president's great deal, going to be a huge deal with China. But for now, I'm going to rip their face off with more sanctions. So, the other day, the Chinese president threw in some fatigues here and told his country and his military to get ready for war. So seeing a little bounce here in the FXI, but each one of these bounces we've sold into and we've been right. Look at this. Anybody bullish on that chart? Down 20%. Since the beginning of June, when we were kind of moving sideways, and we're not going to trade war serious. We're going to get something done. And we've imploded. They've imploded ever since. So I'd stay bearish on FXI at this point. Again, really happy for the folks down south in Brazil, or in South Florida, electing Bolsonaro. Of course, the liberal global media empire have really slamming this guy, but good for him. The guy's starting off on the right foot, in my opinion. We're bullish on the EWZ. We got bullish right around here on the EWZ. Added some synthetic stock in anticipation of his election, and the market's held up great. The Brazilian market at least believes that if this guy is the Brazilian Donald Trump, they're going to see a rip-your-face-off rally like our 2017 market, and I could not agree more. So good job down south. So October's wrapping up, and that was historically, I look at October. Man, so October historically is a volatile month, and obviously this month is one for the record books here. So it didn't hold the 50-day, didn't hold the 200-day, traded around it. Now we're down here in no man's land. I think, and the 200-day is going to be a magnet here. We're going to get pulled up, but we still have the midterm elections, folks. And this, I got to remind you, and we have accelerated retirement today at 1 o'clock. This wasn't. That might have looked like a panic, and retail traders might have panicked. Not one institution or institutional trader that I know sold. This was all mom and pop. So panic in stocks, options signal no. I could have wrote this article 2-3 weeks ago. I've been telling my members since the day one that this happened. I'm like, I'm not seeing or hearing of any institutional selling. As a matter of fact, institutions were buying on the way down. There's not a lot of broad-based panic. So this is interesting, and we nailed this. We were right here at Top Gun Options again. And I'd like this interview here, CEO of Natix Investment Managers. Good interview. We're back in the real world where what? Bad news is bad news. The 1 trillion fund manager said turmoil is the new normal. It's not necessarily turmoil, folks, but bad news should have been bad news. But under Barack Hussein Obama and Ben Bernanke's, Fed stewardship, the dude pumped money into the stock market, $85 billion a month at one point with quantitative easing, had near zero interest rates. That was just that was ridiculous. And now what we're seeing, part of this implosion here, was the fear of rising interest rates. And Janet Yellen, no friend to Donald Trump, at an investment conference, a Schwab investment conference yesterday, more or less stuck it to Trump, saying, hey, Jerome Powell, the current Fed chief, stick to your guns, don't list any of this BS, and just keep raising interest rates. So that's... we're going to see this isn't really the all clear, guys, and we need to retest these lows in order for us to go higher. So I like the rally today. It looks good. Dow up 326, puts a smile on people's face. Don't be surprised if this comes back down here. We've nailed every one of these. I said nope, nope, definitely nope, and then nope. All these big rip your face off ones that we haven't had a back-to-back rally in about a month, in October. So, we'll see. That's not necessarily, doesn't mean it's an all clear sign, okay? So we have the election coming up. It's going to be very, very volatile, and because the market doesn't want Democrats to win, period. If they wanted Democrats to win, if Hillary Clinton would have won, we would have, we wouldn't have seen what we saw, but we're going to see the market head a little bit higher as well over the next month or so, because we're going to be treated to images on the TVs here in a little bit of people beating the hell out of each other for flat screens at Walmart to save $10. Black Friday, Cyber Monday. We're going to put this in the rearview mirror, and we're eventually going to get higher. But come December, man, we're getting another rate hike, and we're going to have to listen to the Fed's words. Are they going to be kissing us on the forehead and putting a Band-Aid on our boo-boo, or are they going to be sitting there saying, no, man, we're going to pound the hell out of interest rates to the upside? When interest rates are high, stocks will die. Interest rates are low, stocks will grow. Folks, I don't care if Facebook's up today. It's an awful stock. Just listening to the guy talk on the conference, Facebook, the only way Facebook really survives and gets back on any sort of growth climb schedule is getting rid of Zuckerberg. Make him the head booger eater, move him into some figurehead role. He sucks as a CEO. He's awful. And it's funny looking at analysts today and seeing the stock up today. People were digging through a pile of shit looking for a pony. Keep digging, folks. There might be a pony in there somewhere, but there was so much bad in that earnings. But, of course, CNBC, they don't want to say one negative word about Facebook because they love getting interviews, right? They're really cheerleaders, whether it's Tim Cook at Apple or they don't like bringing people on that tell the truth, except Jeffrey Gunlock at Double Line Capital, who agrees and is short the hell out of Facebook, man. If there's one roach this time, that wasn't this time last year, the whole Cambridge Analytica thing, man. What an awful scandal. They're getting hacked almost on a daily basis. This is just, it's old. My kids, I got an 18, a 14, and a 10-year-old. They don't even know what Facebook is. Obviously, they know what Instagram is, but that's a different property, man. I get the 2 billion users and all that type of stuff, but when you're banning, 3 weeks ago, you got rid of 800 accounts, and what were like 790 of them were conservative pages that had millions of eyeballs. Those eyeballs ain't looking at ads anymore on those pages. So the math just doesn't work out here, guys. It's bullshit. I'm not a big Facebook guy. I just think it's over with. We've predicted correctly that these guys are done, and that the FANG trade was over with. I called that a year ago, reiterated it 6 months ago, and it's as true back then as it is today. So anyway, I got to get going. I'm going to see everybody today, or my members today, at 1 o'clock for accelerated retirement. So have a great rest of your day. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge, and God bless. We'll see you.